But the official end of the war was December 15th, 2011. That same morning, December 15th, 2011, a gunman opened fire at a small courthouse in a northern Minnesota town right up against the Canadian border. He shot the local prosecutor multiple times, and he wounded 2 other people. That was December 15th. Less than 2 weeks later, on Christmas morning, it was a mass shooting in downtown Chattanooga, Tennessee. A crowd of young people leaving a Christmas Eve party after midnight. When the gunman fired into the crowd, 9 people were shot. January 10th, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. 4 teenagers riding in the same car were ambushed by an armed 30-year-old man. All 4 of the teenagers were shot. 3 of them were killed. February 21st, Norcross, Georgia, near Atlanta. A 59-year-old man with a gun storms into a spa owned and run by his family. He shoots and kills 4 of his own relatives and then kills himself. February 26th, Jackson, Tennessee. A crowd at a nightclub. A gunman fires into the crowd and shoots 21 people. Miraculously, 20 of those people are wounded and only 1 person dies. The next day, February 27th, it's Chardon, Ohio. A 17-year-old high school student takes a gun from a relative, brings it to school, opens fire in the cafeteria. He kills 3 of his fellow high school students and sends 2 more to the hospital. March 8th, Pittsburgh. A man walks into a psychiatric hospital in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, carrying 2 semi-automatic handguns. He kills 1 person and wounds 7. March 30th, Miami, Florida. There's a funeral underway for a 21-year-old man who had been shot to death. A gunman pulls up to the funeral home and fires into the crowd who's there to mourn him. 12 people are shot and injured. 2 people are shot and killed. April 2nd, Oikos University in Oakland, California. A former nursing student, 43 years old, arms himself and returns to that campus after he's been kicked out. He kills 7 people and wounds 3. 4 days later, a shooting spree starts in Tulsa, Oklahoma. 2 men randomly targeting African Americans who they see on the street. 2 people are wounded, 3 people are killed. May 29th, Seattle. A man with a gun walks into a cafe in the University District in Seattle. He starts shooting. He kills 5 people and then he kills himself. July 8th, a soccer tournament in Wilmington, Delaware. It's multiple gunmen this time firing into the soccer tournament. They kill a 16-year-old player and 1 other person. And July 20th, this was one that even made the news. It was the midnight premiere of one of the Batman movies. The heavily armed gunman was wearing body armor when he opened fire. He shot and injured 58 people. 12 others were killed. 2 weeks later, it was the Sikh temple shooting in Oak Creek, Wisconsin. 7 people killed, including the gunman, 3 people wounded. 8 days later, 3 more people were killed, including a police officer and the gunman himself, when that shooter opened fire near Texas A&M. 11 days after that, it was the Empire State Building at rush hour. 1 man shot and killed, 9 more people shot and injured before the gunman himself was shot by police. 7 days after that, a 23-year-old opens fire at the supermarket he worked at in Old Bridge, New Jersey. He kills 2 of his co-workers, and then he shoots himself in the head. September 27th, Accent Signage in Minneapolis. A 36-year-old man who had just been laid off. He walked back into his former workplace with a gun. He shot 8 of his former co-workers. He killed 5 of them, and then he killed himself. October 21st, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. A man with a gun turns up at his wife's job, kills her and 2 other people, and injures 4 more people before he kills himself. November 6th, a man who works at a meat processing plant in Fresno, California, shoots 4 people, killing 2 of them, and then he kills himself. December 12th, the 22-year-old man takes several loaded magazines of ammunition and a rifle into the Clackamas, Oregon shopping mall. He kills 2 people, and then he kills himself. December 14th, 2 days after that, well, that was Sandy Hook. 26 killed at the school, mostly first graders. The shooter's mother killed at home in her bed, and then the shooter himself.